Yeah, so today we're having a Breaking the Bread initiative, which is basically breakfast, a meal shared against diverse communities. It's black leaders, white leaders, and other leaders specifically, intentionally talking about the issue of race in our community.
We are here today to learn one another's names. We're here to learn one another's stories in the hopes that in the friendships that are birthed in these conversations, we can then start to make real changes and real differences where larger issues are concerned, like criminal justice reform, or even larger than that, racism or institutional bias. So we have invited faith and community leaders from all over Oklahoma City, and actually had some come in from Tulsa today.
And we have pastors, nonprofit organizations, lawyers, judges. It's very diverse, very encouraging, very hopeful.
As a citizen of Oklahoma City and as a voter, let's say, my hope is that these kinds of conversations allow us to make more policy changes and more legislative changes, but I know that it has to start with a change of the heart.
My hope is, I believe relationships are the key to solving so many major problems in our city, especially when it comes to race. So my hope is that new relationships will be formed that are across different culture lines and start with relationship before we do anything else, and realize that we're all in this fight together for justice.
So we're here today at Millwood High School to have our second Breaking Bread event, and at this event we try to get people around the table, have them share a meal so that they can hear one another's stories, because we think if we can hear one another's stories, we can make a full step toward empathy, and that's when you can start to have action and even change.
Last year has been a tough year. It happened right as COVID kicked off, so all of the relationships were not able to continue. So this year we're hoping that by what we learned today, relationships will be formed, authentic relationships will be formed, and we can move the conversation about race and reconciliation forward.
I'm glad to see so many faces and so many participants actually realizing and listening to every corner of this city. So I think the key to what we are trying to do here is hear those specific issues, concerns, and most importantly, ideas on how you guys think your city will be better.
And that's what makes events like this so important, is so that we can all get together and see each other just as human beings, and with a common goal in mind to make our community safer for everyone.
It's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be weird asking somebody, hey, you mind if I ask you a quick question about how you feel when police pull you over? Behind every opinion, there's a story. So before you write somebody off, hear their story.
So today we are in South Oklahoma City at Cantera Event Center, and I am so happy that we are here with the Oklahoma Justice Circle and offering this opportunity for our community, our Latino and non-Latino community, to come together and just to learn more about the makeup, the breadth of our Latino community, and to talk about some of those very personal experiences that members of our Latino community are experiencing.
And we have gathered to try to have something to say to a criminal justice system that's in desperate need of help and even reform. So today was our third Breaking Bread event.
Today we had the privilege of hosting many community leaders from throughout the Oklahoma City Metro here and the South Side. To me, it was just an incredible experience, truly full of joy and pride that more people are willing to listen to our story.
We're very hopeful that by learning more about these stories, by getting to know a little bit more about the different cultures that make up this community, that eyes will be open and that more people would be a little bit more understanding to this community, more empathetic, and be willing to work a little bit more with this community, because I think that we're much stronger and much better together.
Well, today we're here at the Bryant Center, Northeast 23rd, for our fourth Breaking Bread event, where we gather around tables to have breakfast and discuss the hard questions that are confronting us here in Oklahoma City. And we are here trying to deepen those relationships and deepen those friendships, and we believe that gives us the resources and the energy to work against and move against issues like racism and bigotry. And we build empathy and love and friendship.
What you all are doing, you're just not alone in doing it, right? This movement is growing across the world, it's growing in this country. We have a lot of divisions, we have a lot of injustices that we need to work hard to fix, and the only way we're really going to get there is if we work together across those differences. We learn to collaborate, we learn to see each other as human beings, learn to see each other with value and with potential, and I'm just really excited about what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing here. This is really a model for what's going on around the country.
At the end of our event today, I hope that each person in the room has the contact information of another person across the table that doesn't look like her or doesn't look like him.
Today we're having the Breaking Bread event. So this event, Breaking Bread, was a partnership between the Asian District Cultural Association and the OK Justice Circle. And so they approached us with this idea. They've done this event in a lot of different communities, in the Black community, the Latino community. They wanted to highlight the Asian community because Oklahoma City has one of the highest per capita Vietnamese populations in the entire United States. But a lot of times you'll hear a lot about the Asian perspective when the United States is having all these conversations about race.
So today we're trying to introduce people who might not have ever otherwise seen one another and been introduced to one another.
So I thought it was a great experience. Just a lot of Asian Americans feel invisible, like they're overlooked. And so it was a great having a platform just to talk about what this whole conversation is like for us.
How do things get better? Our belief is, first of all, that things can get better, but our second belief is that things won't get better unless we sit around the table, learn to look into one another's eyes and hear stories and learn names, and know that an opinion always has a story underneath it or behind it. We hope that this will be a catalyst to empathy and a catalyst to relationship building, friendship, and finally change to make us a healthier society.